I've now driven over 1,500 miles on the Texas Scuba Tour 2025, and on this stop, we're taking you to the creepiest dive site the Lone Star State has to offer. In the middle of nowhere outside Abilene, surrounded by wind turbines, lies a relic of the Cold War, a missile silo that has been transformed into something far more peaceful. This is Valhalla Missile Silo. Let's dive in. I've racked up the miles zigzagging across Texas and seen some of the most beautiful landscapes it has to offer. This dive site is hidden in the middle of a wind farm about 20 minutes from Abilene, Texas. Unless you have the GPS coordinates, you're not going to find it. Valhalla was once part of a network of nuclear launch sites scattered across the US built in the early 1960s, designed to end the world in minutes. Once it was decommissioned and they shut off the pumps, the water began to rise and fill the silo. And now divers come here to explore what was never meant to be seen again. To access the dive platform, you've got to cover hundreds and hundreds of steps carrying a full scuba kit, winding your way through this abandoned missile silo all the way down to the bottom. And the entire time you have this eerie feeling that this is just somewhere where you're not supposed to be. The 2-foot thick iron doors, and I'm not sure if they're there to keep the evil in or the people out. The unimaginable violence that was once represented still hangs in the air. And then once you finally reach the steep set of stairs suspended over the water for your final stretch of descent, for me, seeing the emerald water put me into dive mode. And though this isn't an expansive dive site, it is cold and it is deep. Gear up and slide into your 7mm semi-dry, roll into the 63-degree water and get your breath right. It's go time. The descent is fast and I use my hand as a brake on the down line. By 35 feet, the lights at the surface are gone and the darkness closes in. The next 60 feet, you're surrounded by nothingness, just your dive light and your computer. Then the bottom comes into view and the cold is already affecting me. A skeleton rests at the bottom of the down line at 100 feet. From there, I make my way in a clockwise pattern around the bottom, through a maze of torn and twisted metal, just waiting for its chance at your wetsuit or hoses, or your flush. My NDL alarms started ringing in what seemed like a minute from hitting the bottom. And I'm also starting to realize that I'm a bit confused and probably under a little bit of narcosis. We begin our slow ascent back into the light where there's some really cool structures along the wall. And it's at that point that we're passed by another group of divers disappearing into the abyss. There's something haunting about these dives. They remind you that exploration doesn't always mean beauty. Sometimes it's about entering spaces humans were never meant to be in and finding stillness there. After reaching the surface and talking to other divers, I realized that I may have been way more narked than what I thought, and I'll share that full story in a future video. I want to give a huge shout out to Desert Reef in Midland, Texas for setting this dive up. I waited almost an entire year to get in here, so thanks for making that happen, guys. Hit subscribe and drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. If you want my suggestion for what to watch next, click this video here. And if you're new here, here's something awesome. We hide real treasure underwater. We call it The Hunt. If you find one of our coins, you win high-end dive gear from brands that we trust. The hunt is on.